All right, we're going to, well, that's interesting. It's not a van, it's not a truck, it's a vuck. This is one of the ex-local white Oliver. Actually, they started off as Moline and then became Oliver and then became white dealers. This is actually the dealer where the 7300 was sold brand new. But they were white AGCO up into the 90s. And then when they lost AGCO, they picked up Kubota. And they finally sold out to the local case dealer, wanted the Kubota distributorship, and they sold out 2 years ago now. But I gotta get my number real quick and then we'll go walk around a little. Okay, we'll walk around here, around the side, and then we'll go out to the shop, and then we'll go inside the main building. Unfortunately, I do not think they're selling any of the dealer signs. There's a really cool one downstairs that's really rare that I know is not for sale because I got a sticker on it that says not for sale. But this guy's on the sale, 244 forklift. It's not rough, but it's definitely had some farmerizing over the years. It would need a little bit to, I don't know what's going on with all the screwdrivers and shit. I don't know if they're just there or if they're functioning as levers. Like none of that, all this crap is. But as far as 244 forklifts go, the fenders and everything, she's straight. But this is a great patch territory, and I bet that thing brings a fairly decent chunk of change. And then we got, this is all Kubota, partially all Kubota stuff. I'm supposed to bid on some of these tires for my boss. He wants them for the back of that 96. He wanted either, where'd they go? Were these the 16.9s or the 14.9s? There's some 16.9 24 somewhere. Oh, right there. Either these 16.9s. I'm probably going to try to bid on these to have a set of spares for the back of the 8700. I think the offset and the rim's not right, but they're 18.4 16.1, so. Or I'm supposed to bid on these. But now we get into some of the white Oliver shit. These are row units for an Oliver cultivator. That's a row unit frame for like a 5400 or a 543 planter. Fertilizer tank brackets. These are white, but I'm not 100% sure what they are. And this is what kind of ticks me off a little bit. They got like, these are plow coulter arms, and they got a bunch of those scattered throughout all these pallets. It's not like they tried to say, okay, all this stuff is similar, let's throw all this on a pallet. It's just scattered. But they carry Kubota, Grasshopper, and Cub Cadet, if I remember right. Yeah, I know they carry Kubota, oh yeah, Cub Cadet. There toward the end, but they had a lot of white. I've actually already bought earlier I think it was last spring. I can't remember if it was last spring or the spring before last, but they opened it up and were just selling stuff for scrap price, and I already bought a bunch of parts from up here. Be nice to get my hands on some of them rims to have for spares. Perkins block, 354. Oh wow. Oh, they dug that out of the dirt. Obviously came out of a combine since it's red. I don't know what that's go pretty cheap. And then you got to ask yourself why is it just here? But more plow parts, some quick attach loader mounts. These are all, or that's planter parts. random. They also carried Hardy, so there's some Hardy sprayer parts. Like I said, when I was combining yesterday, my boss and I came up here yesterday and kind of looked over some of the stuff. Oliver fender. I wonder if this is... There was one sitting inside against the wall yesterday. I wonder if that's it, or I wonder if... Cause I don't remember this sitting out here. Oh, I did not see this yesterday. Oh. I hope that goes cheap. I hope that goes real cheap. Is it double-sided? No, it's single-sided. But if I remember right, HFS stands for Home Furnishing Store. They were like a small grocery, and they sold furniture and basically household goods. And then in like 63 or 64, they picked up Minneapolis Moline, and then they kept the home store for a few years. And then after the farm equipment dealership took off, they basically dropped the home or the household side of it and strictly became a farm equipment dealership, but they kept the HFS in the name. That's probably worth something to somebody. Flat rate manual, that's what they would use to estimate jobs. White outdoor products, that's probably going to be mostly lawnmower stuff. That's Kubota. That's a cool binder. See, and I'm worried about how they're gonna, I guarantee you what they're gonna do is, like everything on that side of the wall is not for sale. But I guarantee you what they're doing is they're gonna stand here at the door and say, okay, you're buying everything on that shelf. And that's the worst part of it, is I don't care about any of the Kubota or lawnmower shit. I just want the white stuff. But hopefully some of this stuff goes fairly decent. But I know the 7300 was bought new up here. My white cultivator was bought new up here. That's a cramped little bathroom. I better not show the stuff on the other side of the wall there. I don't know. We have several pieces of equipment that were sold new up here, and I'm also wondering, because there weren't that many Moline dealers around here, I'm wondering if this is where that Moline garden tractor I just bought was sold new. Tell you what, this here's the engine hoist from hell. It's not actually a white, they just put that, it's a central tractor, but the stand probably weighs more than most of the engines you would pick up with it. Oh, nope, Meyer Hydraulics Corporation. Apparently Central Tractors who sold it. But they moved a lot of equipment through this place.
Hey, 1 2 1 2. Get it ready, ladies and gentlemen. We got 45 minutes sale time.
Alright, we'll walk inside. I'm sorry, I'm probably not doing a very good job of videoing some of this stuff, but I cannot even begin to describe how much shit there is here. It is nuts. I really hope that sign, I mean, I really hope that sign doesn't bring much. I'm bidding on that sign. There's so much shit here I want. But this area right here, they worked on small engines and stuff. And I just don't, I'm really curious to see how they sell all this. Apparently everything on that side not, or maybe it's just everything on the floor is not for sale. But I mean, and we're not even getting into the good stuff yet, but plat book, what year? Does it say what year? Bicentennial. That means 76. Well, give me a year, damn it. I'm assuming it's 76 since it's bicentennial. But there's white manuals there. All these white and Oliver manuals. This right here is an entire binder full of white Oliver Moline service bulletins. Unfortunately, all these movie things are empty. I was looking through them and they're just the cases. Oh, wait. Well, they could have, like, those two right there, they go with that box. But I'd just be curious to know if they come in here and say, okay, you're buying this wall, okay, you're buying that wall.
You know, I don't know, they have a startup table out there. So, they're starting out there. I thought they were going to start inside, but this lady came and got some stuff and she said there's a startup table.
I've seen a lot.
So,
I'm interested in that building. The metal building.
oh, the metal building, yeah.
That's been sitting there quite a while.
One has been there a
But
lot
this
longer.
right here, this green sign,
You know that. The one has been there a lot longer than the other one. I don't remember. It's when they're
unfortunately that one is not for sale.
I
But
tell you that.
and they got so much shit stacked in front of it, I can't get you a good picture. But they only use the green sign for like 1 or 2 years, and they are incredibly rare, which is probably why they're not selling that one. And then when I was here last time, this row and part of this row were all Kubota shit, and then this row and these back rows here were still crammed full of Oliver and White parts, and I bought a bunch of stuff out of here. But there's still some stuff. These are brand new side shields, never been used for a 2105. There's other parts, you know. Like I say, a lot of this stuff is actually, there's a clutch housing for like a 7300 combine, 525, 545, that vintage. This is all parts for a heavy duty hume reel, like what's on my white platform. There's some white, that's a top cover for a combine transmission. This is more, there's more Kubota stuff down through here. These were some cool old filters I was looking yesterday. I don't know why. This one's actually in the wrong box, but ACP 306. These two are still pure layers. But this was a Perkins water pump kit still in the box. It's a white SM3 planner monitor with the harness. That all goes together. That belongs in that box. We're gonna put that These are all Perkins and Waukesha gasket sets. That and that are for a straw spreader on a, as wide as that is, that's got to be bigger than a 7300. This is a broken water pump off of like a 55 series or a newer white. Don't know what that is. That must be for, almost looks like something for an end toe for a plant. I bet that's what that is. I bet there's supposed to be a spindle there. I bet that's an end toe unit for a white planter. All these are white, man. Well, not all of them. Some are Kubota. Some are. They sold Sami at some point too. Apparently they sold OMC. I thought some of this stuff was Sami, S-A-M-E, same Sami, however you pronounce it. But they got a bunch of white and Oliver manuals through here. I mean, it's just nuts. And like I say, when I was here the first time buying stuff, this was all still full. I was actually up here 2 times. One time we were down here getting stuff, and then the last time they had moved it all upstairs, which some of it's still up there. But this building is awesome. I love this building. Sorry, I'm whispering. I'm trying not to get too excited around all the people. But there's some white advertising banners stacked in this pile. Lord knows what there is in the posters. And this is all, the vast majority of this stuff is all plow parts, planter parts, and combine parts. Walkerizers for a combine. I mean, and the worst part is, if you don't have any, like, parts numbers and stuff. But I guarantee they're probably selling this by the shelf. Which we've already could use those. We've already picked through a lot of this stuff pretty good. As far as what, that's all Kubota and newer stuff. We've already picked through a lot of this pretty good as far as what's useful to us. I mean, I'm not saying there's not more stuff in here, but you'd have to sort through it. And yeah, it'd be nice to come in and buy the shelf, but then you'd be a couple years sorting through and figuring out what all's what. Center brake pedal for Fleetline 3-digit Super. That's something for a Fiat. This should be, I don't know if that's a Super 55 or a Fiat PTO stub shaft. Because they sold a lot of Fiats through here too, because of all the grapes and vegetables, or grapes and fruits and stuff going on around here. Like, look at all these. These are all are like 50, 400, 543 series white planters. That's a belt guard for, or belt guard and pulley set for a straw spreader. These are all combine pulleys, or reel pulleys. I don't know why you would have so many reel drive pulleys. I don't know. Unless they were a common broke part. That's a planter sprocket set for a 6180, 5100, that series. And some randomness. That's a straw spreader drive sprocket that goes on the walker crank on like a 525 up to a 7300. Is it bad that I can just look at this stuff and know what it is? Again, these are all, that's a Perkins head gasket. These are all Waukesha, Oliver, Perkins, Moline gasket sets. That is a spike 2 cylinder bar, or spike 2 cylinder concave set for, that might be for 7,300. It's about wide enough. More white reel parts. And then a lot of this stuff is Kubota and Grasshopper. That screams white planter part, but heck if I recognize it.
Well, it's cold, isn't it?
Okay, I got it. Okay. Oh, you found that?
Cool old wooden cash register.
It works long enough. Did you go home and get that?
No, I got it.
And then pretty much everything from here on out. Oh, they do got some AGCO filters. They got some white and AGCO filters up here. But that's the worst part of it now, is they're probably just gonna say you're buying this shelf, and I don't really need this shelf. White planter hub, Minneapolis Moline. Actually, that'd fit 4-digit too. Wheel wedges, plow bearing cap. That's a stack valve for a 1755, 1855, 1955, 2105. These are stack valves for a white Oliver combine. Sickle hold downs. These are white half sickle sections. I don't know what head that would be used on.
Off the metal decanter.
Yeah. Pushing forward.
Some cat parts. I feel like that, and that are all got some custom made tools for something. Huh, that's neat. Too bad that'd be for the older style planter. That'd be for like a 5400 series planter monitor with the bigger plug. And then a bunch of white manuals. I never even knew white offered a windrower. And that's the head for it. 601, that was a pull type windrower. I never knew they offered that. And then all this is Kubota stuff, so
Well, it's not unusual that I wouldn't hear it. I go out the street and look out there when they have the rally out there in Daytona.
And that's a side saddle tank for a 285, 2105 white. They'd probably go bigger too, but so that's pretty much the nickel tour. I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of video and while they're doing the bidding and stuff, because it gets hard with it. I know some guys make videos like that, and to me it gets hard to pay attention to what's going on in the video at the same time, and there's going to be enough stuff going on here. I really need to be able to pay attention, so I guess we will get back to you when I figure out what I buy. Wish me luck. Yeah, let's walk over here. I gotta get trailer valve's leaking. It's kind of sad watching this because everybody's walking around. It just feels like they're ripping the place's guts out, which they basically are, but it's a hard thing to watch.
Oh, a fella?
I wish they were letting that go, because that would look really cool standing up in front of the barn all lit up. All right, so we'll start here at the truck. So I bought all these rims for 10 bucks a piece. So I got 9 rims, so I got $90 in all these rims. These are, for instance, or no, which one is it? One of these is a one for mounting a 9.5. I think it's that guy right there. That one's for mounting a 9.515, which would be the one that I would have needed to fix the soil finisher when I crashed it earlier this spring. Got that rim for 10 bucks. The one that I bought through John Deere was just shy of 400, I think. I could have got them cheaper, but I needed it like right now, and the ones on the internet was not going to show up right later. But I got, these are 11 by 15s, or no, 10 by 15s. So those that mount an 11L15, this guy. Anyway, basically all the rims I got are useful for something, except for these junk bastards. That's like a garden tractor rim or something, and I don't even know what the hell that is, or would have been on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 6-bolt, but it's a goofy. Must have been like a garden tractor rim, which is an F&H though. I don't know, I might keep that, but and then this damn front Kubota rim that I don't need. So that and that are probably just gonna go in scrap for what I gave for them. I ended up buying the Spike 2 cylinder bar for 7 bucks. Don't need it, but somebody somewhere is probably looking for it, so might as well save it. And I bought these reel ends, and then I bought those tires for 50 bucks a piece. Unfortunately, the bottom one, and I should have known because this has happened before, to look at the bottom one, because it's got some sort of goofy ass damage going here, but luckily it didn't actually hurt the side while it's all in the tread. So but I got those for spares for the back of the 8700 anyhow, so it ain't like I'm gonna do anything for 50 bucks a pop. It ain't, the rims are worth that. So I got all this going on. Oh, and then I got this, but this comes into play a little later. Well, just remember this, because I'm not going to carry it up there with one hand. So we got that. And then I got that. I didn't think I was going to get that. it went a lot cheaper. I got it for a lot cheaper than what I ever thought I would have got it for. I only had to give 375 bucks for it. It was at one time double, well, actually up until the auction it was double-sided. And this is big. It's probably, it's at least 6 or 7 foot by probably 3 to 4 feet. I mean, it's a good size sign. But all the bulbs were broken out of it, and obviously the back bubble was busted. It was inside up until they started getting ready for the auction. And I guess it was up against a wall, and I guess when they went to pull it away from the wall, apparently something had bumped it at some point and knocked that back bubble into the wall and shattered it. So now I just got the one side, but it's a 4-bolt flange mount because obviously it was sitting on a post at one point. But what I'll probably end up doing is making a plate that bolts on there that wraps around back so you can hang it on a wall. And then I was talking to a buddy of mine there at the auction who was actually going to bid on it, and then he said, it's a good thing I saw you bidding on it because I was going to run it up to 500. But he said that they make LEDs that should fit in there. So the plan is to get that lit up and get it hanging somewhere. I don't know if I'll hang it outside or inside. Probably ought to hang it inside. It'd look really good. If I could work it, it'd look really good hanging up. Although I'd want to be careful how I hung it. Hanging up in the back side of that barn and make it to where when you flip the lights on, the sign comes on for a light. That'd be cool. Or for that matter, hanging it in that barn. But I'd rather not hang it in that barn, just in case you were meandering something in there at some point and accidentally whack it and you don't want to shatter it. So probably not going in that barn. But if I ever get lucky and find the back bubble for it, I would definitely put it outside on a post. So there's that. And then the rest of the stuff is inside. Okay, so I got all this shit. I got all these VHS. Well, basically what happened was, so most of these manuals came from that back corner where I showed you, and then that one room that I showed you that had all the books and videotapes in it. And they started off in that, well, they worked the whole room in a circle, and they went to that back corner where all the pigeonholes and stuff were, and I started bidding. And there was this one kid bidding against me, and he ran me up to 35 bucks and finally quit. And I asked him, I said, so what were you interested in there? He said, the Kubota stuff. And I was like, well, all I want is the white stuff. So he said, well, okay, well then in that next room, I just won't bid against you. So I bought that entire next room for $5. And then he gave me 20 bucks, and he took all the Kubota shit and I took all the white shit, and everybody was happy. So I got, all these are, I don't even, 2050 and 2150 part. I didn't even look. I just started grabbing shit that said White and Oliver. That's Minneapolis Moline. Oh, that's Gravely. Okay, so that's not quite all Minneapolis Moline. So apparently that was a Minneapolis Moline. Part of that was Minneapolis Moline, and I mean, there's just so much shit in here. What's the, 8770, 880, 1750, 1800, 1900. Somehow I ended up with a Sami book. I think I probably saw the AGCO logo and just grabbed it. All these AgriMax tapes, which go with that player that I showed you down in the truck. Don't know if it works, but I bought the room, had all the tapes in it, and I'm like, shit, I don't have a player for them. And on my way home, I swung by my bosses and showed him everything because he wanted to see it. And he's like, well, you didn't see the AgriMax player in there with all, it was on that, it was at the bottom of that shelf with all those computers and stuff in it. And I was like, no. So I had to go back up there to get them rims and stuff anyway. So I shimmied back up there, and luckily the guy that had bought that entire shelf of computer shit was there. And I said, hey, how much you want for that AgriMax player? He said, make me an offer. I told him 10 bucks. He said, take it. So don't know if it works. Don't know if any of these tapes work, but I got all these AgriMax tapes and the players for them. That one's the plant air electrical. What's this one? Incomparable plant air, so it must be for the 281 offset disc. Just no CAV fuel injection systems. That'd be good for the combines. These must all be more like service type training videos. White Farm Equipment 8600 through 8800 Harvest Boss. New from White for 75. So I got all those. I got all these videotapes. I will probably look at, because there's some of this stuff is on YouTube already, like these 6100 quadra shifts and stuff. But there's a couple in here that go clear back to like the 2105. There was one in there for the 2105 and 285. There was one in there for the 2135 Series 3s. Oh, 288 and 2110 short version 12 cuts. 135, 155, 180 Series 3, runtime 60 minutes. Another replica of that one. Disc chisel. So some of these, I'm probably going to look at trying to get some of these digitized so that I can get them on YouTube, possibly. Mom works with a camera shop that can do that. So I got all that stuff. I got that whole binder of sales or service bulletins, which ironically the one that it's open to right now is the 310 head gasket. There's brochures in here. I don't know why. I mean, white power washers, disc harrows. There was Harvest Boss combine. There's some full line 1980 sales or brochures in there. I bought a input shaft for 3-speed, some 310 Waukesha wrist pins, some more perforated doors for the 7300. I ended up buying that monitor tester. I think I gave like $5 for this. Don't know, I don't really need it for anything. It won't work on my monitor. It takes this for the square plug monitors, but it's on, throw it on the shelf. I got 2 white motor oil cans. I got a box of these thermoses that have the dealer name on them. I already gave 2 of them away. One I gave to my boss and one I gave to my buddy. I'm probably not giving any more away though, just because I want to hang on to them. Why you gotta make noise like that? And then this, we'll have to go outside so it's big enough. This was neat. So the USAC Showdown, which there's a video for on YouTube for the 2255, where the 2255 won. This is the band. This is a banner for it. White wins USAC Showdown. Go with a winner. So chances are they probably had that hung up in front of a 2255, if I had to guess. It would make sense. So that's basically what I got, and I didn't even do that bad. Basically, I think I spent $1,400 with $800 for my boss's tires, so I spent $800 on everything for myself, which I thought I spent way more than that, 'cause it felt like I was spending money left and right, but I wasn't. So I think I did pretty good. I'm kind of stoked for all those VHSs. I just gotta go find. I guess still got a TV with a VHS player somewhere. I just gotta go find it. And all that literature, yeah, it's gonna be overwhelming sorting through all that stuff and kind of getting it categorized. Somebody wants out. Come on. So, yeah, not a bad day. The owner of the dealership was there, and I really wanted in the worst, actually most of the family was there, and I really wanted in the worst way to get him on camera. I was going to try to like interview him and get him to tell you some history about the dealership, but you could tell throughout the day, I think watching that place get sold off piece by piece was taking its toll on him. And it got to the point, because I was kind of watching him just to see, kind of judge whether or not I should approach him about it. And he basically got to the point where he wasn't going anywhere near the building. He was staying outside or staying in the shop. He wasn't going. I don't think he stepped foot inside the building that entire time. So I figured probably best off to just, as much as I wanted to, just let that one lay and not worry about it. So, oh, they did end up that green white farm sign I showed you downstairs. They did end up selling that. I fucked up. Well, I'm not saying I probably wouldn't have got it anyway, but the auctioneer put in a bid of 500, or one of the ring guys put in a bid of $500, and basically the guy said, well, for that, just sell it. And it ended up selling for $550, and I didn't bid. I was standing there when they did it, and when they said that they were gonna sell it, it's like my brain locked up and I couldn't make my hand move. And by the time I realized what the hell was going on, or by the time I came back to and realized what was going on, it was too late. But he bought it, got it outside, turned around, got on the phone, sold it to another guy he knows for $1,800. So I probably never would have got it to begin with, even if I had bid on it. I wish I would have known that they were going to sell it, because I probably would not have bid on that one. But if I hadn't have bid on that one, I probably wouldn't have got the other one anyway, because that was worth every penny of that $1,800, and it probably a $2,500 to $300 or $3,000 sign. So in the end, I'm glad I got this one, because I never figured I would own a dealer sign, and I think that's pretty neat. So, but anyway, I got to get the truck unloaded and get some stuff taken care of and cleaned up here. So with that being said, that's it for this one, and I guess we'll catch you guys on the next one.